Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So we have the green F-150 here, and today I'm going to start tearing this thing apart. So I've been having some issues with this truck. I'm not going to dive into that. However, yeah, we're going to start tearing this truck down so that we can figure out what we're going to do with it. So there's going to be a lot of stuff that we're not reusing out of this truck, namely the whole interior and likely the drivetrain. So, yeah, I don't know. So we're going to start tearing this thing apart. I'm thinking I'm going to start with the bed today and try to get the bed off and see what's going on underneath that bed, because they cut all the fuel lines, all the wiring. I don't even know what's going on in there. So I'm going to start with pulling the bed off. Hopefully that goes well, because the truck is, rust free. So yeah, we're just going to start tearing stuff apart. We'll get the bed off, and then probably going to move up front, get the front end off of here. Probably take the hood off, might leave the hood on. We'll see what happens here. But basically, I'm just going to set it up so that I can get the body off of this truck and really assess what's underneath it. Obviously, the whole interior in this truck is pretty much trashed, and it's probably all going to go in the dumpster. So we're going to get this thing back up in the air. It's the first time it's actually been in the garage here. So it was very interesting getting it started. Very interesting. So yeah, so just going to start at it, get this up in the air, get the bed off. So under the truck here, you can see, yeah, if you watched the video on this before, the longer you look, the worse it gets. And yeah. But anyway, so still pretty clean under here. That's the idea here. And we're basically just going to come in here like we did on all the other trucks and get these bed bolts off of here. So there's one there. They don't look too bad. I'll still probably heat them up. But when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you unplug everything. So like this should be the license plate lights, but yeah, it's already unplugged or cut or God knows what. But yeah, whatever. So we got to unplug that big plug there. And then if you had fuel fillers, you'd have to take those out. But we don't got one back here because there's no rear tank, and then the front tank is a piece of PVC. So that's going to be interesting. But yeah, so that's the plan here. So we're going to get these bed bolts out, get this plug unplugged, because I think there's only one. This is just kind of hanging out here. So yeah, that can get unplugged. It's not doing anything. And yeah, let's see if we can get this bed off and see what this frame looks like for sure. So we have the bumper most of the way removed here. And what I wanted to show you is when you take out your bolts here, so there's a nut on this bolt, and then that's just a bolt with a threaded insert in the frame. You do not have to actually hold the other side of this bolt. It's actually pressed into the frame. So I can take this nut here and put it on and take it off without holding the other side here. So see. So that bolt is knurled on the other side. So whenever you take this bumper free like this, it will just swing, okay? So when you're taking your bumper off your truck here, you don't really necessarily have to worry too much about it falling, because this bolt is going to hold it up. So if you wanted to, you could do it this way and let it hang, okay? Or you could just prop it up and take it off as normal. Now, I don't give anything about this bumper, so this bumper's junk anyway. The only thing good on it is the bracketry. So if you wanted to take the bracketry off, you can. Once again, we have more bolts down here, but I'm just going to take the bumper off like this with our trusty little cart here. So the idea here is just get it supported. So you can see picking up the truck. and then you just have to knock these bolts out. So you've got to get a punch and a hammer or whatever and knock those bolts out of there, and then that bumper will come free. So basically just take your hammer and so you can see that those babies are in there, okay? So you don't have to worry too much about mushrooming the end of the bolt here. However, if it doesn't want to come out like this guy, you're gonna have to use something like an air hammer. And because it's being what it's being here, I'm gonna slide this nut on here so it doesn't take off on me. So now that I've air hammered the end of the bolt here, I'll have to get a wrench to hold that bolt and get that nut off of there. And we'll repeat this process for the other side because as you can see, they are in there. So you can see that this bolt is knurled, and that's why these don't come out. So they're actually pressed into the frame. As you can see, we kind of did a little damage on the end of the bolt there. So you don't want to mess up the threads too badly, so we put that nut back on there like this, and that kind of protects the threads. So we'll get this done on the other side here and get this bumper removed. So we got our other bolt removed here, so this should come down nicely. Nope, it's gonna stay there. There we go. So just like that, we have the bumper removed. We had already taken out our license plate lights, or rather they did. But yeah, so we'll get this bumper out of the way here and see what we can get ourselves into. So I apologize for the fan noise if you can hear it in the video here. It's extremely humid in the garage here, so I'm trying to not die. But you can see that there's a bracket here. I assume it's for this guy here. So we'll be removing that. And then we've got our lovely bolts here to hold these up. This one looks like it's a socket cap, and that one's a carriage bolt. So you never know what you're gonna run into when you're working on a truck. So we have a random wire here. No idea where that goes. It goes somewhere. It goes up. So that's gonna have to come out. So I was hoping to not pull a tail light out, but I kind of want to see where that goes. And then you can see our plugs back here. And then this is where the license plate lights were wired in for some strange reason. So they, yeah, that's third brake light. So that's what that's for. But yeah, I don't know why they did that. That don't make no sense to me. But this is our wiring for the tail lights. So that's unplugged there. And now we can get to our bolts easily here. We've got a little bit of cleanup to do on this bed before we plop it on. So that'll be an easy fix. But I expected a little bit of corrosion because this truck was a little bit more north than I wanted. And then you can see up in here, that's why these trucks rot, that double panel. So that's your main problem for rust in the wheel wells. But let's go ahead and get these bed bolts off of here. Hopefully they come off as easy as the bumper bolts did. So we'll find out. So before we get to taking the bed bolts out, this bumper here is, it's just junk because, yeah. So the nice thing about this bumper is it has these brackets. Now, this one may be a little bit out of sync, I guess you could say, from this bend here, but these brackets are very hard to come by. So even though this bumper is junk, we're going to pop these brackets off and save those, including the bolts and retainers and stuff like that. So the middle of this bumper is, you know, perfectly fine. It's not rotted out. It's just, you know, people can't drive. So that's how we ended up with this. And now this technically clean bumper, and you can see it's rusty on the inside, which is no surprise, is now scrap because of this right here. So let's get to those bed bolts. All right, so we got these back two bed bolts here. Now I haven't messed with it too awful much just yet. I just got all the tools here. So we've got an 18mm short socket extension, the impact, swivel just in case, because we'll need the swivel up front. Now, I'm gonna show you a difference here. Now, we have a fairly rust-free truck. I mean, it's got a little bit on it, but you know, these nuts are technically locking nuts. And I'm gonna show you how they come off without heat. So you can see this one here. So we'll start with this guy. Okay. Not bad, rust-free truck. So, you know, that guy will come right out of there, perfect. Now, I'll do the heat on the other side and kind of give you a demonstration on the difference that the heat would make when you're doing this. So I had to turn off the fan here so we can get a good heat on this bolt here, because if you use the fan, it kind of blows the heat away, so to speak. So we'll turn this guy off so we can see how our heating is doing. So she's nice and warm there. So not as much of a struggle with the heated bolt. So like this truck here, we don't need to heat these up. However, if you're using this on a rusty truck, which I've had other bed removals on my channel here, I've always used the heat induction tool because, well, I needed to. So if you are taking off your bed and you don't have an induction tool like this, I highly suggest getting one. It's well worth the money. So this truck isn't that rusty, so we're not really showing the difference here, but you can tell that it comes right off with the heat, whereas on the other side there, it had to hit it a little bit to get it to come off. So we're gonna go ahead and remove the rest of these bed bolts and make sure nothing else is tied up in here like this green wire, figure out what that is, and then we'll go ahead and pop this bed off. So we got our bed bolts all out. I ended up having to use heat on the middle ones because I use a swivel to get to those ones, and that swivel was just taking too much of the impact away. So we got our 4x4s in here because right now the two-post lift is highly occupied. So what we're gonna do is come in here, pick this up with the forks, and hopefully nothing's still attached. If you have proper fuel fillers, you want to make sure that you get those disconnected, and we've showed that in other videos. So right now we're going to try and get this bed off of here, and that wire that was coming out of the tail light was nothing. It was just taken up and wrapped around the fuel tank strap. So no idea what that was for, but yeah. So we got our bed bolts all out, and this bed should be ready to come off, and hopefully we don't run into any problems taking it off, because taking it off with the skid loader, while yeah, it works, but in the same sentence there, it's hard to see anything. So see what happens. So we got the bed off and it went pretty uneventful. The only thing we saw falling was that piece of foam that was stuck there between the bed and the cab. And all that noise was this thing. So, we got to put our fuel cap back on. Hold on. There we go. There we go. Yeah, so you can see we have some dirt up here in this crossmember, but this crossmember is pretty nice. Yeah, don't know what's going on there, but something. I also don't know what's going on here either. Yeah, no idea. Yeah, just leave that there. Here's our fuel lines for the rear tank that they cut. And another fuel line there, and another fuel line there. Hose clamped down in there. The vent's not properly vented. Yeah, so this truck should not have been on the road. Was definitely not safe. But yeah. Frame looks pretty good though, which is what we were shooting for here. And one thing I do want to note is that the two-wheel drive F-150s have a narrower leaf spring than the four-wheel drive F-150s. So your hanger's narrower, your shackle's narrower, your leaf spring's narrower, your retaining plate down here is narrower, and then your hanger up front here is narrower. So you can see there's only 4 rivets in this, whereas like the 250s and 350s had 3. I'm not sure what the four-wheel drive ones had. I haven't really taken one of those apart quite yet. But overall, this frame is very clean. You can use this frame for four-wheel drive. You just have to change your brackets, or you can just use the narrower leaf springs on your four-wheel drive truck. But we got the bed off of this truck. Our next step is going to be getting the front clip kind of unbolted here and getting all this stuff here cleaned up. So you know, we have this strap's all bent, so that's junk, but we're going to save the little plastic piece because those seem to disappear for some reason. But not too shabby. So hopefully you enjoyed our little video of this F-150. I know I have videoed taking beds off in the past. Didn't get very specific like I did with the bumper, and you know, kind of showing you, I don't know what any of this stuff is. None of it necessarily makes sense to me. So what you didn't see with the front tank is there's an external pump at the very front of the tank. So I don't even know what's in this fuel tank. I know the fuel tank's all dented up and stuff, so it's got good gasoline in it, so we're going to save the gas and put it in something else where it'll get used. And yeah, just start tearing this thing apart. I don't know what we're going to do with the frame just yet, or the engine, or the cab, or nothing like that. So we'll have more videos on this truck once we get a little bit further in depth with it. You know, I have a feeling that this truck's going to donate most of itself to parts. So we'll see what happens with that. And yeah, but we'll keep making videos here, and we'll have some more videos of this truck coming up, and hopefully they'll be a little bit more informative. But hopefully you're enjoying these videos. I know that we're starting to get back into some OBS content here. I know we had a pile of 6-liter content there for a long time, but you know, trying to keep stuff moving through here, and we have what we have to work on. So that's why we're getting what we're getting. But thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm going to go try not to die of heat stroke. So hopefully you guys enjoyed these videos, and we'll catch you on the next one.